God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. All right.
Hey, Rev. Hey. How you doing? So welcome, everyone. My name is Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. I'm the spiritual director here at the Center for Spiritual Living. For those of you here in the house, welcome. For those of you joining us online, welcome. If this is your first time joining us online, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and you can join us for meditation on Wednesday night. You'll get a little reminder if you prefer something a little more chill. Because that's not what we're doing here today. So please help me welcome our musical director, one of our musical directors, Mr. Jason Goldstein.
Good morning, you guys. Hello, hello.
And his friend Evan, and our own wonderful assistant minister, Reverend Nancy Woods. And give yourselves a hand for getting into church today. You get 2 gold consciousness stars. All right. So let's start by just taking a deep conscious breath and release. And in that release, just allow ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. And that fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Nancy lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. The eighth candle we light for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course, within our own hearts. And as Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced a healing flame of God's eternal love. This week we're remembering Al Moreno and his wife Lissa and Margie and others on our care team.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
Oh, this wondrous light, the light of truth, life, love, the light that has brought everything into existence. So in this recognition and awareness of this one power, one creative expression of being, all-knowing, all-powerful, and everywhere present, manifesting and expressing in each and everything that's in existence. Oh, the wonder of knowing that this is the essence of our being. This is who and what we are. The glorious presence of the divine, experiencing itself in many ways, creating newness, bringing forth greater good. This is our path of awareness and how it develops and expresses itself. So as we spend this hour together, we experience its nuggets and its richness through the music that is gifted to us. We experience it through the message that is delivered, knowing that that which you need to hear is heard clearly and exactly the way we need to hear it. And to allow ourselves to appreciate the idea that we have those who are willing to step up and be of service through our sound and through our online presentation. And we welcome all who have joined us in this event in this hour. And it is with this consciousness of appreciation we welcome this moment as the powerful moment in which we step into an expanded understanding of who and what we are. So together, as the oneness of life, we accept that the law of the universe does that which the words we place in it has declared. Together this good and this greater good is ours. So with a unified consciousness, we say, thank you. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And thank you. Every time I have a chance to share a minute up here, I am truly grateful. Spirit is really good. What I wanted to share is another experience of spirituality growth that I'm experimenting with. The chakras have been presented by so many different philosophers and spiritual teachers. I decided to explore it, and I took, okay, I'm going to say his name again, Shinjin Long. Yeah, he said, when you start studying something, I said it kind of fast so that you can mispronounce it. Did you notice that? Anyway, he says, when you start something, read about it, see if you like the nuggets, then take it down to them. It doesn't mean anything. And then you start exploring it, trying to see if, to what extent that it works, it fits in. Because we have so many teachers bringing so much information through the past, and all going to the same point of awareness. But, so I have been, I wanted to see how far I could go with this. So I have been practicing with some of the exercise that I read about developing these particular aspects of our being, the sacral, and start with the crown and you go all the way to the root. And I have to say that some of them seem very profound. Like the heart one was like, oh, I could get that right away. And so when I practiced with the crown, I could feel that there was a light, that there is a light in this universe and it can flow through us. Some of the rest of the chakras, I could feel a little bit. I had to really take a journey to do the sacral chakra. I realized that must be where I'm blocking something. But I did discover it, and I have been working with it. But anyway, the whole adventure of experimenting and studying these different ways that the philosophical teachers have given us to reach that divine presence, it's rich. It's a lot of rich things out there. And that happened to be one that I wanted to really discover. But I have to say that since I've been doing it, each one has certain things that are associated with it. And the ones that I resonate real good with, I've found those areas getting stronger in my personality and my ability to express. So I have to say, I think they might have something with them. Now, that's me saying that. But I have a lot more work to do with that before it gets any further. Now, I share that because one of the richness of this philosophical teaching that we have is that we talk about so many different ways to that one, it's like a pyramid up, that one presence, that divine wholeness of life. It is what we're all reaching for. So any of those things are that we find that are tools to get there. I mean, there are so many rich ways and paths. And that's one of the reasons why we honor, because each one brings nuggets of truth that we can help ourselves on this path further and further, and the richness of where we are, all going. By the way, there is no end to it. It's infinite. Sorry, even though we say we're going, it doesn't end anywhere. So, but I love homes because it tells us that oneness of the universe is what we all are seeking, no matter which path, which tools, and which ways that we try to get there. And absolutely everybody is on that path. So, welcome as we share this path together. And thank you for letting us share that.
Yeah. Good morning, you guys. How's it going? My name is Jason. It's great to be here. It's my pleasure to have Evan St. Georgie, one of my students from Campbell Hall, with me. Evan is a senior. He's a senior at Campbell Hall, and he's going to Berklee School of Music over for the next school year. So we're very excited for him. And because he's here, I've been working with him on some jazz. We're going to play Stella by Starlight. I don't know if you guys know that jazz standard. All right, take it away. Very nice. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Oh, gosh. Thank you.
Thank you. That was fun.
That was just
That song's
beautiful.
called Stella by Starlight. Gorgeous.
What a blessing. Thank you very much. Oh, I have a couple of announcements. If you are, there's a practitioner available for a 2-minute tune-up is what they are calling it. So I always say, if you got something that you want to create and you want to make it bigger, get a practitioner treat for you and kind of expand the vibes of that experience. All right, if you need somebody to help you through something, there's always a practitioner on CSLGH.org. So, welcome to help. And also to announce that we have our youth church back, and we are still expanding with the kids. We're getting them every Sunday. So, we tell you, if you have some neighborhood kids, bring them along so that they can have that blessing too. And starting next Sunday, is it this Sunday? The Young Adult Program, the first Sunday of the month at 11:45. And Reverend Nicole is the person you need to contact for that. So would you join me in saying the principles? We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal too, and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon the law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life, the immortality of individual souls forever expanded. We believe in eternal goodness, eternal loving kindness, and the forgiveness of life to all.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Very nice. You guys sound good out there today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that Reverend Nancy and I were together 7 years ago today.
Oh, yeah.
With Stephanie. It's my 7th wedding anniversary today. Not to Reverend Nancy, but to Stephanie. It's the longest I've ever been married. Yeah. But that's another story for another day. I also love the idea that Jason and Evan opened with a jazz number, because it made me think of a friend of our center, Dr. Carolyn Bowler, who was the twin sister of Marilyn Collins, who wrote a book, God the What? And she spoke to God being a jazz musician, right? The creativity, the improvisation. And also, you got to play the black keys as well as the white keys, right? So there's a shadow and the light, if you will. And so today, this theme for this month is actually light within the shadows. And today we're going to be speaking to the inner and outer spectrum. And before we get into that, we have tickets for our to buy the ring that has all power. Diamonds and gold, $2,000 value, only 3 for $25 or 15 for $100. And the drawing will be on the summer solstice. Speaking of light and shadow, let me see which slide I have here. Okay. So as spiritual beings living a human experience, we live from both the inner and the outer spectrum of life. We process internally or inwardly through our thoughts and emotions, and we express outwardly as we interact with others and life. So I've been pondering what to speak to this week, through the week, as I often do. And then on Friday, I had this wonderful opportunity, really the distinct pleasure of witnessing the enrobing of a new Superior Court judge for the Family Law Division for Orange County and the state of California. Of course, this fellow is a friend of Stephanie's. I don't have such friends, but Stephanie does. And so I got to go along as a guest. And it was a pretty amazing experience in so many ways, some subtle, some obvious. All right, so obvious in that it's serious business to be selected and then installed as a judge, and a Superior Court judge at that, in a courtroom full of judges. I found myself grateful I have no outstanding warrants. And to see that this young man is so ready for the task, very accomplished and yet humble, with a deep appreciation for family, the family from which he came and the family that he's building with his wife, and the gratitude that he expressed, and an expressed commitment to supporting families through service as a judge. And I say service because he left a very lucrative commercial partnership as a law practice. And so I'm sure he left a lot of money on the table to step into this role. And you know, he's only like in his mid-40s. And then also the subtlety of the experience hit me as well. So reciting the Pledge of Allegiance in a solemn event, right? So installing a judge is like a secular, sacredly, what am I trying to say? It's sacred in a secular way. It was quite moving. You know, usually I say the pledge like kind of rote, but I really heard the words this time, maybe because I hadn't heard them in community for some time. And then the oath of office for a superior court judge. With each, you step up in the commitment. Do you hereby swear to defend and to protect the Constitution of the United States? Yes. Do you hereby swear to protect the Constitution of the state of California? Yes. And, all the things that went with it. And I found myself both being really moved by the experience and also confounded when I'm thinking, wow, these guys are taking these kinds of oaths and this is what we see out there? Really? It's like, come on. Somebody needs to level up their gig. But what I learned about Eric, something that Stephanie's known for some time, so I know for Eric Wersing that he will redefine what it means to be honorable in the best of ways. And as I said, when it came time to his own remarks, this very accomplished fellow expressed a lot of gratitude for those who supported him in his journey. He also implicitly spoke to what we are going to be speaking to this month, that the life of every human being is comprised of both light and dark, light and shadow. And yes, he clearly has spent his time cultivating the light in his own life, and that he really seemed to express a commitment and an understanding that to bring the light of spirit and the light of justice to entangled family matters is to lift not only the lives of the litigants, but also society as well. It was really quite inspiring. Now, this month's theme is about first understanding that there is light within the shadows, that there is, right? So you can't have a shadow unless there's light, yes? And then once recognized to find ways to allow this shadow to be more fully realized. First within our own experience, for we truly cannot give away something we ourselves have not fully recognized and realized, and then to share it with others. And the ironic thing is that it is in the sharing that it is more fully realized. This is one of the things that we really learn in a conscious way here in this teaching, that we are playing with the law of reciprocity, a law of attraction, a law of reflection. It's all the law of cause and effect, just different wavelengths of the spectrum, if you will. And that we cannot really receive our choicest blessings unless we also give. In other words, to release so that we can receive. Right? It's kind of hard to receive new stuff when your arms are all full, yeah? So, and even the master teacher said, for how could a man be benefited should he gain the whole world and lose his life? Now back to this judge in robing thing. An interesting experience to be with people who, very accomplished people, and for myself to be just a guy. So often when I'm in groups these days, it's as a minister with some level of status, after a fashion. And when I'm in such crowds, I try to avoid bringing up two things. One, that I'm a former contractor, because people will always ask me how much it costs to remodel their kitchen. And two, I try to avoid bringing up the fact that I'm a minister in social circles, because then we have to have this whole other conversation when really I'm just trying to get to the snack bar and refresh my drink. It's because really it's too difficult to field questions in any meaningful way, particularly in the venue where I found myself. And remember, I'm surrounded by layers, and I mean layers, like inner ring, outer ring of judges, and then all the attorneys, right? And other professionals. Now, why would I avoid such a thing? Because it often happens that some self-appointed evangelist needs to make sure that I believe in the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And it's never enough I got 1 out of 3. It's never enough because I believe in the Holy Spirit. I absolutely believe in the Holy Spirit running through all religion. But that's not good enough. So I say I'm a leftist Christian, just to kind of needle him a little bit. Well, she started it, and the husband said, well, we're right of center. And so then I said, well, then you're right where you need to be. And that was it. Exit stage left. So, there, through the door of our own thought, we enter into the universal consciousness, into a complete realization of life and truth and love and beauty. And unfortunately, to tell on myself, that was not where I was at in that moment. And it certainly was not what I was doing. And so the drive home from Orange County had me reflecting on the experience and thinking that sometimes I do feel like a stranger in a strange land. Because in my heart, I do truly believe in the one Spirit that is the golden thread that's running through all religious thought and experience. And when I circulate in Christian circles, it's got to be Jesus and nothing else. And yet, oftentimes in religious science circles, it's got to be anything but Jesus. And some are even uncomfortable with hearing the word God. Now, I got to tell you, it's kind of hard to talk about spiritual matters without using the G word. Now, perhaps you can relate to this social scenario or something like it. So I did see a few nodding heads out there and a couple of chuckles. And of course, it is easier to speak of these things, and I like speaking of such things in a house party or at a dinner party where we can kind of explore things together. Certainly, it's far easier than at a reception for a superior court judge in Orange County. Now, in the context of our task for the month of May, exploring the light within the shadows, this experience I'm describing, I think, is a great place to start. You know, the inner and outer spectrum is our talk title, after all. And that I love this image that I found here. Now, this is not Dark Side of the Moon. There's someone in my head, but it's not me. No, we're not talking about that. I love this because it's the one light directed through the prism of human experience, and experience that often bends the truth to suit its particular perspectives. To display a multiplicity of colors on the other side, all still light, just different wavelengths. Just different wavelengths. Now, this rainbow that we see here, this is called a spectrum. Now, the interesting thing about a spectrum is you can use light, directed light, to determine the chemical makeup of any substance at an atomic level, at a molecular level. Because it turns out that all matter, atoms, molecules emit their own unique signature. Well, this is a wonderful metaphor, right? So all of matter is defined by its relationship with the light. And so are we, right? So as it happens with this spectra, some is absorbed, some is reflected, some is bent, and they can tell by these unique signatures what's going on in distant places. So when they're sending these satellites out to Mars, out to Uranus, Neptune, the way that they know what's going on there and what they're made up of is by using this, the spectra. So it got me to thinking, staying with this metaphor for just a little bit longer. All of matter defined by its relationship with the light. And this is, one of the things that we teach here is the idea that there's one spirit expressing in, through, and as this entire experience of life in matter, but certainly with each other. So when we remember that, what do you suppose our number one task is as one who practices this thing we call the science of mind and spirit? Is it to monitor our thinking? Well, yes, that's partly true, but anyone who's tried to monitor your thinking knows it'll make you nuts after about 10 minutes, right? Is it to watch our languaging? Well, anyone who's tried to cut their profanity in half can probably see what a challenge that is. I don't know anyone who would need to do that. But so is it to watch our languaging, right? Not to own our physical condition, not to own whatever is expressing in our life, but to instead recognize that it is the demonstration of consciousness, our consciousness that we are co-creating this experience with the infinite one. Thinking, languaging, maybe it's to demonstrate the infinite power of the Creator in, through, and as our life. Yes, I would say so. And the one catchline we have there is a power for good in the universe available to everyone. That means even you and even me. There's a power for good in the universe available to everyone, and we can use it. And available to everyone is even the people who you think it's not available for. Another way we could say this, playing with this metaphor a little bit more, that there is one light for good in the universe, and we can use it. Now, use it to do what? And I think this is our number one task, is to see the divine in all things. Really what we are here to do is to expand what it is that we think and feel, and to remain open to more fully realize this infinite power and presence that we're speaking about, and to know that we are also thinking with it, right? But also that we are the hands and feet through which the Spirit expresses itself on this earth plane. Now, how do we do that? We demonstrate it. It's not enough to just talk about it. That's raising the bar pretty high, I think. Maybe you don't feel like that's what an order I can't go through with at the moment, but I often do, if I'm honest about it. To see the divine in all things, all people, all conditions, all matter, through sickness and in health, for as long as you both shall live, which is eternal, because we are all eternal beings, playing with the Spirit. Playing, really, as Alan Watts would say, that we're all playing hide and seek with the Spirit, popping up here and there. So it begs the question, what must I do with my inner spectrum so that I can give witness to the outer spectrum? Maybe more important than that even is what must I do within my own inner spectrum to make it easy and obvious for others to see the Spirit is demonstrating as me and demonstrating as my life. The old joke, if religious science was a crime, would there be enough evidence to convict us, right? So in religious science, we don't evangelize. We demonstrate the presence of that G word that you have to figure out your own understanding of how that is for you. Now, for those of you who don't know me, Mary, I'll just give you a heads up here. I like to play things loose. in my leadership style, in friendship. I try not to put demands on others outside of myself. Even my spirit, maybe even especially my spirituality. I like playful, joyful, humorous. Because really, if the Most High does not have a sense of humor, we're all sunk anyway. And what I realize out of this day, and this, I'm telling on myself here to see if you can relate to it, not to do a mea culpa. Well, maybe a little bit of a mea culpa. But I had to recognize that sarcasm is not humor. It's a dig. Usually at someone else's expense. And I must remember that some people take their beliefs, their spiritual beliefs, very seriously, even piously. And piety doesn't rank really high on my list of things to be, but it does for others. There's a lot of rules and observances, and people find comfort in that, and they find strength. And we have to honor that, even if it's really not my cup of tea, mostly because I tried it. And, I find this more effective for me. So they take things very seriously. And I think maybe they even take comfort in the rules. Now, I have an opinion about that I'm not going to share because it would not be helpful. Except to say that there should only have been one judge there, but there were many, and some didn't have a robe on. So, to proclaim myself as a leftist Christian to this person was a dig that up until now I have to say I've kind of done it on purpose, just to be provocative. And that's not my job as a human being or a minister. Now, to provoke you, that's okay. That's my job. On Sunday, I'm supposed to provoke you a little bit to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable, right? With love and respect, right? That's what we... So there, through the door of our own thought, we enter into the universal consciousness, into a complete realization of life and truth, of love and beauty. So it kind of begs the question, what are some better answers? Maybe you've been wondering when you're out socially and people are kind of putting it to you about that hippie church you go to, all right? So maybe there are some better answers. Maybe to say nothing at all unless asked, but that seems kind of timid, even to me. Maybe it would be good to ask rather than answer questions, to seek to understand rather than to be understood. Because I found in most cases they really don't care what you think anyway. So as religious scientists, so somebody asks you, what is it that you do? What is it you believe? As religious scientists, we can say this. As religious scientists, we ask ourselves, what if God is good and only good? What if we knew are not punished by that we are punished by our sin and not for our sin? What if our sin is an error in thought rather than an offense against the Most High? Right? How would my life be different if I knew that? How would my life with you be different if I knew that? This is all about me again, right? Because this is my point of power, is within myself, not over others. What if it's true? What if it is true that if we had the faith of a mustard seed, we could move mountains? What would we do then? What if it's true that it's done unto you as you believe? What if it's true that God is love? And those who abide in love abide in the Most High. What if that's true? Now, if you ask these questions, then they have to kind of look at their own gig. just as we do. And to say these things with love in our hearts, truly seeking to understand rather than to be understood. Because, by the way, isn't seeking to be understood a reflection of our own need to be seen as right? We're just reflecting that need back and forth to each other. Is there going to be any healing there? No. So, little by little, you will turn into the whole sweet, amorous universe. Love will surely burst you wide open into an unfettered, blooming new galaxy. It's by Hafez. So let's take a deep breath. And release. This is a poem that light will someday split you open, by Hafez, Sufi poet. Light will someday split you open, even if your life is now a cage. Little by little, you will turn into stars. Little by little, you will turn into the whole sweet, amorous universe. Love will surely burst you wide open into an unfettered, blooming new galaxy. You will become so free in a wonderful, secret, and pure love that flows from a conscious, one-pointed, infinite light. And then, my dear, the beloved will have fulfilled just a fraction of a promise that he wrote upon your heart. For a divine seed, the crown of destiny is hidden and sown on an ancient fertile plain. You hold title to. Oh, look again within yourself, for I know you were once the elegant host to all the marvels in creation. And when your soul begins to ever bloom and laugh and spin in eternal ecstasy, oh, little by little, you will turn into God. And so it is.
All right. Hello, everybody at home. Hello to my mom watching, too. This song that I'm about to sing was written by my uncle. He passed away recently, and you may know the song. His name's Bobby Caldwell, and it's What You Won't Do for Love. It's a really great song, and I want to sing it because he passed, and it's also a great song. Did I mention? All right, here we go. For Uncle Bobby. I guess you wonder where I've been. I search to find the love within. Yeah, I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do, you do for love.
You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, there's only you. Make me do for love what you would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know I got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Although I only want the best, it's true. I can't believe the things that I do for you. What you want to do, you do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, there's only you. What you do for love, what you would not do. What you want to do, you do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, there's only you. What you do for love, what you would not do. Dun, 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 dun. Da 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 da. Here we go. Right here. Yeah. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, guys. That's featuring Evan on piano. Crushing. So good. Thank you, guys.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Let's give them some more love, shall we? Make sure you love them up in the chat as well. I'm going to ask Chloe to bring up our offering basket as we move into our offering song. We'll do a couple verses here, and those of you online want to join us. All is appreciated.
Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us.
So going within for a moment longer, just recognizing that this basket represents both the giving heart of the individual and the heart of this spiritual community. So that we know for the individual, by whatever means, by whatever avenue, your generosity finds its way to our center through the mail, through online giving, through in-person. That all of it is a demonstration of consciousness that knows and knows that they know that God is our source, our substance, our supply. So now, accepting these gifts as a heart of this spiritual community, we do so with love and respect, knowing they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only the vision and mission of this center, but anyone connected to it in any way. And so from this place of gratitude then, we extend a blessing upon our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, that we know for our planet as well that it is all a demonstration right from the very mind of the living spirit, the creative impulse of life doing its thing by means of you and by means of me. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see it. We see it demonstrating in ways great and small. This lifts our hearts. We feel a sense of grace and power that propel us into ways of spiritual living that raise not only our own lives, but the lives of those around us. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is, amen. And so we do have these tickets available. So I have to, someone online actually participated. And so if you are joining us online and you would like to participate in our opportunity drawing, just make a note of it on your PayPal donation, and your tickets will go into the HAPA. And then, I have tickets available, and I'll find someone for you to buy them from later. Okay. So let's give some love one more time up to the dynamic duo.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
The fabulous Goldstein boys.
Yeah.
And let's give Reverend Nancy some love, shall we? Who doesn't love Reverend Nancy Woods?
So join me in knowing that whatever nugget that we came here for has been received. As it blossoms in us throughout this week, we go forth to know that we have been blessed once more. And the understanding that this inner teacher, this inner awareness, this inner dynamic expression of beingness that is within each and every one of us is guiding us, directing us. So we step with ease and grace, knowing that this light of truth is forever shining in us, through us, and for us. So with a consciousness of gratitude and appreciation, we say together, and so it is.
Please join me in singing the peace song. If you're new here, this is where we stand up and get in a circle and then sing this song here. All right, here we go. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God as a power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step
I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you, guys.